high school, and it's also the first school I've stayed in for at least 2 years consecutively since elementary school. Cushing has been a great growing experience for me, but not in the way I ever expected. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that I would want performing arts and theater to become my life one day. Don't get me wrong, I'm never going to give up soccer in any form, but I really have grown to have a second love that exists on a different stage. Cushing has given me opportunities on the stage that I could not have had at any other place. I have always wanted to do everything, play sports, invest in myself in school, and performing arts, and at Cushing I was encouraged to make this happen. When people ask you what your favorite year of high school was, a majority of us would answer senior year, but there are always variations to this answer. My problem is, I don't know. I can do some process of elimination and start with my sophomore year, when I learned that big public schools just aren't for me. Then there's freshman year, which was just that, freshman year. But I made great friends that I've still kept. Then junior year and senior year, where both share a major commonality, Cushing. The people change each year, as does the atmosphere and my classes, but the constants seem to be intertwined with the variables in such a way that each year can outweigh the previous. If asked which year was better between the two, my response would sound something like, well, I loved my junior year. It was so much better than my sophomore year. I had an enjoyable fall, the winter musical was great, and my classes were challenging just the way I wanted them to be. But senior year is senior year. I got to spend it every day with one of my closest friends. I took my favorite classes ever in high school. I got to expand my theater repertoire. I got to work with my peers and produce and direct a play that they wrote. I really have improved my reading and learning skills. On paper, junior and senior year look similar. It's the ambiguity between the two that makes it so difficult for me to choose which is better. So back to the theater. As one of Ms. Ohm's final challenges for her students, we're asked to pick a perennial that embodies us the most. Not so much physically, but the story we use to describe it. As my plant, I chose a white rose bush with abnormally large thorns. Now, I'm not giving away its entirety as to why it resembles me, but the most obvious explanation is the thorns. I'm guarded when it comes to myself, really, but when I'm more comfortable in a community, then I'm able to share who I am with the people I'm surrounded by. Cushing has finally given me the opportunity to be surrounded by that kind of community. Cushing has made it possible for me to thrive next to my peers on all stages without the fear of a negative reaction. Not including today, we have 4 days until graduation. Graduation, the thing that all seniors start talking about the moment they start their last year of high school. Graduation will be the last day we spend on this campus for quite some time. Part of me says, thank God, but another part of me says that I will miss it. It's true, I can't remember a place and time in my life that I've ever been so grateful for. Cushing was a last-minute decision that helped my entire family finally agree on something. It helped my father to see and understand exactly what I needed. It helped me to be able to come to a place where I could begin to mend and form the relationships I have with others. It has been a place for the most of the improvement in my life. It was never an issue that I would ever have graduated high school. In all honesty, I probably could have graduated early, but it was more that I was never able to reach my full academic potential. Take the difference between sophomore and junior year. The difference between a school acknowledging that I had a learning disability or not. I took AP Calculus both years, did well in each class, but when it came to the AP exam sophomore year, I received a 1 out of 5. Junior year, I received a 4. Quite a difference if you ask me. Sophomore year, I got an A in that class. So it wasn't that I couldn't do it. It was because there was a problem in my head not being acknowledged by the staff. In all reality, it's a $55,000 inconvenience to be able to accomplish a level of academic independence and pride that I've always struggled with. But anyways, back to theater. It is my home away from the soccer field, my hidden pride and joy, if you will. But I do not wish to hide behind the characters that I play. I want to be incorporated with them, learn from them, and share those experiences with the audience. It is very much like this community. I have no desire to hide behind it. I have learned from all that Cushing has to offer me. I have incorporated it into my very own persona, and now we are all deemed to continue on and share it with whatever audience faces us next. It is not the goal to enforce knowledge upon an unwilling learner, but more simply to share what has been learned with an open-minded audience. With such thanks To all of my teachers and my peers, I am grateful and glad to have shared and learned from each and every one of you over the past 2 years, and I wish you all the best in your futures to come.